Okay, so let me get headphones. Probably important that you guys understand what this is for. This is about transparency. And you should be able to hear me better once I do this. So in preparation for the launch of Deserts to Mountaintops and my chapter on managing chronic pain, which is titled Adverse Possessions, I want to take you through what it's like in my day-to-day of managing chronic pain. So today is October 24th, and I now live in Florida. It was 80 degrees, and I moved here from my place of birth and education in Indiana because I needed to be somewhere warm, where there was sun, where I felt better, where my body didn't have to struggle against the cold, because cold is not good for arthritis unless you have like an ice pack, but like oppressive pressure and gray skies and storms, no bueno. Even on rainy days here, if there's a storm move through, the pain will be higher. So, my name's Olivia Ash. I'm an author, I'm an attorney, I'm a teacher, I'm an artist, and for the next 3 months or so, I'm just gonna take you with me here and there. There'll be a vlog posted. So today, I had to deal with doctors, and you'll get to see a little bit more about that. Changing appointments last minute, which is not cool when you have travel plans to go back 1,100 miles to where your doctors are because they're specialists. So we're working through that. It is about 6:19 p.m. Had a full day of work on the computer, and I wrote a lot today. So as an attorney, I interpret and I create education pieces for regulations that are promulgated, is the fancy word. Well, it's a lot of sitting at a desk, and even though I have a Varidesk and I can stand, I can sit, it hurts my neck. And why does it hurt my neck? Well, the issue here is cervical cranial instability with a possible Chiari malformation, which is pretty much not just possible, it's very likely probable. They thought I had it, oh goodness, 15, how many years ago now? Oh my gosh, 15 years ago. But techniques have changed, the criteria has changed. So I'll be going to Indiana in a couple weeks to have a special MRI done and meet with a neurosurgeon, because basically from here to here, I'm like a weeble wobble. There's very little instability, a lot of arthritis, a herniated disc in my neck, and a Chiari malformation is just a fancy name for the gentleman who named it Chiari, there's not enough space between my cerebellum, that's the low part of my brain, and the brainstem, so it presses on it. And cerebral spinal fluid is supposed to go around and cover all of your neurons and everything. And it gets caught, and I have increased pressure inside, and that really aggravates headaches, it aggravates mood, it aggravates pain, lethargy, tiredness all the time, even if I've slept. So I'm gonna go to CVS right now because I got 2 notifications that my medicines were ready. The medicine that I take to control the headache portion is a monthly injection of 3 syringes into my stomach. It's an antibody for a protein that tends to help with the stabbing pain from here to here. So you'll notice my eye is twitching, and that's very likely due to the increased pressure in the brain. That medicine is $1,500 without insurance a month. Thank goodness I have insurance, and thank goodness I qualified for a reimbursement card. Okay, that's cool. Well, insurance is now saying, I'm sorry, we're not gonna pay for this unless your doctor tells us it's the only option. They want me to try a bunch of other medications I've already tried that doesn't work. That means I can't function. So, off to CVS we go, and a little bit more about me a little later, but it's time for my injections, which is why it's been 4 weeks, which is why this is really, like right now I'm talking to you, but like I can't feel, like even to this, I can't feel this tooth, but I can feel this one. That's the bilateral difference in how our bodies are just amazingly function and wired and what happens here. So something's going on here, and we gotta get it fixed. And it's just about perspective. It sucks. But I went and I worked out the best I could. Something is better than nothing. All that exercise and blood perfuses my arteries, veins, and capillaries, and it brings oxygen to the area. It allows me to change my perspective and look around at nature. And those are the little things that we discount often. And as a health and well-being teacher, that's something that I am reminded of because I have to teach it. And I have to take my own advice all the time. So, long-winded blah, 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 blah. Let's go to CVS. Okay, let's do this. It's really dark, but that's because I don't want to waste energy. So, off to CVS we go. I think I've got some prescription toothpaste and hopefully the headache medicine. So, this medicine played a very important role in my life, and you can read about that in my chapter. So, all right, let's go do it. All right, for the sake of safety, I don't have all the accoutrements, as my mother would say, to safely vlog while I'm driving. But I'd have to thank my, I call him the marketing guy, Ryan, because this was his suggestion, and I love the idea. He keeps me up to speed with all the things that are fresh, you know, for, as my law professor would say, the young kids. But I think it's a really good idea, actually, to be able to bring you inside of what it's like. I mean, like right now I'm in like urgent mode to get this medicine, because if I don't get this medicine, it's not good. The headaches that I was diagnosed with, they're called cluster headaches. Now we're gonna get ready to find out if those are actually cluster headaches chronic, because the medicine works, or if the cluster headaches are a byproduct of the increased cranial pressure, which could be the situation. I mean, at this point, I'm just a guinea pig. So the point is, that medicine is the only thing I've found that ever works. And if I don't have it, then you might as well just take an ice pick and put it through my right eyeball temple, and it just 24/7. There's no sleep, there's no happiness, there's just, how do I get rid of the pain? So how do I deal with it? I just do. I've had people ask me that. I can tell you that I remember, I've only really known pain for most of my life. I mean, some pain in some joint at all times. And that's really due to a chronic degenerative condition, which I'll talk about in another vlog. But it's really about perspective. You just gotta keep going. All right, so let's go. I must say, filming myself wherever I go is kind of weird, but hello, whatever. Okay, so we have keys somewhere. Have to look at the right part of the camera. Not that I don't know how to do that. Anyway, okay. So my CVS is in like the most difficult place on the planet to actually get to, but nevertheless, I think I've got it, so let's go. It is a beautiful night though, the sunset. And yes, I'm wearing a long sleeve shirt and shorts. It's only 78 degrees, but here, that's kind of chilly, which means I think I've officially become a Floridian. And I got my driver's license for Florida last week, so. Bye, Indiana. Okay, annoyed. Dental toothpaste for enamel is ready, because unfortunately, my enamel's weakened from clenching my jaw, which aggravates my headaches. But one of the other medicines is ready that I don't take because it causes too much side effects. And the one that I'm waiting on is still not ready. That means insurance hasn't approved it, or the doctor's office hasn't called insurance. And I would really like to get it before the end of the month because I'm under one insurance now. New insurance starts November 1st. And of course, deductibles. All of these things matter. Part of managing chronic pain when you have to take medicine. I really don't want to have to take medicine, but in this case I do. Otherwise, blood doesn't function well. But on the flip side, always interesting to check out what the sales are, so let's see. All right, I always, yes, I'm a sparkling water girl. These are good. My favorite is not Mandarin, it's the orange vanilla, which I don't see. I don't know why sparkling water is so expensive. I do need some coffee, so look at that. Yellow tags, we'll have some coffee. And I'll probably get some chocolate or salt because I need that for my soul. So completely normal because I never get a card and that isn't like this. Okay, so nothing exciting. Sparkling water and some dark roast coffee. Here's the deal. So my doctor, who has to say, hey, health insurance, she needs this, is ending at this practice at the end of the month. My insurance ends at the end of the month and goes to a new insurance. I've called them once. That means I'm gonna have to call them again tomorrow. I'm gonna have to ask them to call the insurance. We're gonna have to get a pre-authorization. hopefully we can get that done in the next 6 days. Because it's already been approved to be paid for. It just needs insurance companies, which I work in benefit plan compliance for healthcare. We want to go there. So I'm off to see some family, but dealing with chronic pain is these little headaches like every day. And you do have to be your own advocate. So, night, folks. Okay, well, I'm gonna call the doctor tomorrow, but a little postscript at the Home Depot, very exciting Monday night, meeting my brother. And the wind is going. It's beautiful. This is why I moved to Florida. It's much better on the body. Because right now it's like, it's nice in Indiana, I'm told, but it'll get cold. In about 3 weeks, it'll like drop for like 5 months. Good morning, happy Tuesday, friends. So, if I sleep, I'm very happy about that. Today was 5:30 wake up, not bad. Mostly it's 2 or 3 in the morning because I will wake up either because I have the stabbing through my eyeball, pain from the cluster headache, or just the general ache at the base of my skull. But I turned the light off because this is beautiful. So let me show you. Okay, Florida sunrise. Look at that pink. Oh, anybody want to know where I get inspiration to paint and do things? Nature. All right, friends, it's 6 o'clock on October 25th. Haven't heard from the doctor. Don't have the medication. I'm 2 days past necessary. Had a very full day at work of answering inquiries, dressing up, making a video, changing it, meeting people, talking, giving a lot. So I need some workout. And a workout always helps because it helps my mind and it helps my perspective. And all that oxygen and that muscle exertion and blood pumping does help with a headache. And I'm 2 days past needing my medication. And I left a message for the doctor, and that's all I can do right now. So I do have emergency medication. Emergency medications for emergencies. So what's the emergency? Well, if the pressure gets so bad that I kind of feel like I just want to like relieve it myself, which sounds pretty intense, but trust me, it's not that intense. I'm looking for socks. The medicine will reduce the pressure in my brain because it reduces the amount of fluid. But when that happens though, it causes some serious side effects like complete lethargy and taking the minerals out of my body. So if I were to have that medicine as the doctor prescribed it, I would have to get a blood test every week to make sure that my potassium and calcium were okay. As it stands, I use it as an emergency medicine because otherwise I don't function well with it. So this is the challenge of chronic pain. What's worse? The medicine to help with the intense pain, or the intense pain and you just deal with it? It's only an answer that the person who's suffering from the pain can know. And what I'm learning is you don't have to explain yourself to anybody because they're not living in your body. And that's probably the biggest thing I've learned in the last couple of years. Is until you've walked in my shoes or I've walked in yours, I can't tell you how to deal with your pain. So, I'm gonna go ride. Hey everybody. Okay, so I'm about 4.5 miles from my house west, which puts me right at the edge of Matlacha Islands, which was inundated by Hurricane Ian. I mean, islands, Pine Island, eye of the hurricane came straight across. I haven't been here in over a month and can't go any further on this pathway. I wanted to see how it looked, and it's just brown. Everything that I saw here about 3 months ago that was green and lush in the mangroves is just brown. So all of that was really green, and Matlacha is over there. I'm not gonna ride my bike there yet because they still have signs up for restricted limitations on weight limits, and I don't want a biker to get in the way of anybody. So it's sad to see the devastation, and behind me there's lots of houses with tarps and everything. So It's crazy. Hurricanes are like tornadoes in a sense. I have learned they can like devastate some houses and other ones are just fine. So you never know. I can tell you that in 20 years of dealing with constant pain, the sun and being in nature is the best equalizer along with exercise, whether that's walking, running, whatever makes you happy. And sunsets in 36 minutes, and I just thought that you should see that even though my neck of the woods has been devastated by Hurricane Ian, this is still gorgeous, and it brings a lot of peace when there's not much you can control. So, have a look. You can see the poor little trees that used to be really thick here, but it is still sunset. So, do what you can with what you have. Alright, folks, update. I'm not happy. When I talk about being your own advocate, you have got to be your own advocate, which basically means you fight on behalf of yourself, right? So, I've had an appointment set for over a month that I had to reschedule flights for, which already has cost me more money. Well, they called and said, well, the doctor needs to be in surgery now instead of doing clinic, and there's nobody else that can see you, we have to reschedule you. And I'm like, I have other appointments back in Florida. I've already scheduled this. Well, we need to be flexible. I'm thinking, well, what about me? I've had this appointment set. I need this surgery. This is a very specific surgery by people who do this surgery only. And I realize he has other things and he has other surgeries, but there's gotta be some sort of flexibility. Because I'm going 1,100 miles back because these surgeons know what they're doing, except that it's very expensive to fly and have a hotel and change your schedule in your life, and besides the anxiety it creates. So, you know, this is one thing about chronic pain when you're always dealing with something. And I had some other news this morning that's disconcerting and means I'm gonna have to have another test. Haven't heard from my doctor yet on the approval to have my headache medicine, so I'm now 3 days overdue. And I mean, today I'm feeling a little less pain, but I've also been taking it a little easier. You don't ever do what we can do, but it does create hypervigilance. And I talk about that on social media if you follow me on Instagram at Live Balanced LLC. As we're leading up to the launch of the book in my chapter within the anthology, I talk about it, and I talk about what hypervigilance is and how it can really affect everything if you don't learn how to manage it, because you're just used to things getting crappy, being bad. Anyway, I'm done. So frustrated. So, no flexibility. I cannot see the doctor when I was supposed to see the doctor. I can't reschedule the MRI because it's a special machine that is only one in Indianapolis. There's none in Florida. So I'm gonna have to travel all the way up there for one MRI, and then she's gonna keep an eye on November 7th, which means I would have to schedule, like change my schedule, my flights and stuff. So this can happen when you have such a unique and rare genetic condition like I do, because not everybody can service it. So it's a nice day though. I'm definitely gonna get outside. Okay, so slept decently. Pain is there, but it's not awful today. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Florida, and just bit the bullet and scheduled a separate consult a week and a half later, almost 2 weeks later, so that I could meet with the neurosurgeon. And it's, you know, a few $100s extra, but it's going to be a whirlwind 24-hour sort of trip. But it's what you have to do sometimes, because I really want the consistency of doctors and a medical system that I'm used to. And I think that might be less hassle than trying to find something new in a new state for this particular issue. So, and the thing is the medical geneticist who recommended me to this doctor they work with the world's expert in the medical condition that I have. And so I want to be able to keep that connection and have a second person to think about stuff. So that's also something that's important when you're dealing with a chronic illness, since I have genetic condition and that all that matters, because, you know, if they cut something wrong, or if somebody doesn't do something or doesn't have the education level or isn't familiar or confident, it can be a life-changing situation. So anywho, that's it. We're gonna take the rest of the day easy. I'm gonna call the doctor again and see if I can get the medicine for the headache and go from there. So.